I'm Canan Bilen-Green. I'm from North Dakota State University. I've been there for over 18 years now. My tenure home is in industrial and manufacturing engineering, so I started as an assistant professor in industrial and manufacturing engineering department right out of graduate school. What do I do with advance? I am currently the PI of our advance project. When we wrote the proposal, and the one that was successful, I was leading the team that wrote the proposal. I was a lead co-PI. When our provost stepped down, I became the PI of our project. But from the very beginning, I was either functioning as the co-director or executive director of our advance project at NDSU. So at the time that we started as an institution, we were definitely paying attention. We were definitely trying to increase at least the gender diversity of our faculty. We had the President's Diversity Council that was co-chaired by our provost and our Equity and Diversity Director. They were very visible. They had done climate surveys, and they had put plans in place to address diverse gaps in our diversity of our faculty, staff, and students. But until Advance came and until Advance implemented a comprehensive approach, we were not able to change the gender diversity of our faculty. And so what we have learned from previous efforts is that it has to be a comprehensive approach, and that every department, every college is different in their needs, and why the way to recruit, retain women is really individual specific. It's specific to the college. Ours was based on unstructured spaces and women being authorized but not recognized. In our proposal, we wrote that we would seek a transformation that alters the culture and then changes the institutional behaviors, and that it's deep and pervasive, and that it affects the whole institution. And so that meant to us is that we would have many interventions, multiple programs, and that we would engage faculty, staff, administrators, not just as participants in our programs, but as facilitators, as planners, as leaders guiding the work of our advanced program. So when we wrote our proposal, we were a core group of 15 faculty, staff, and administrators, but then our project group grew to over 50 people. Working through groups like our Promotion to Professor Task Force, our Commission on the Status of Women Faculty, our Faculty with Disabilities Task Force, our Internal Advisory Board, and those are the people, the groups that led the work of our advance. Our Male Advocates and Allies is an important component of our project. Part of it is because it's unique, and part of it is because it fits into what we needed to engage men on our campus in institutional transformation. So when in 2006 there was an AAUP study that looked at close to 1,500 institutions, and our NDSU was ranked second to last in terms of representation of women. We got a lot of attention, and so it also highlighted that there are a lot of men on our campus. And so institutional transformation meant that we had to engage them, and they wanted to be part of the transformation. So the Advocates and Allies program came about from the interest of our male faculty, and then the need to engage them in the transformation piece. It's not about fixing the woman or fixing the institution, but it's about men understanding unconscious bias, what gender equity means, and understanding those and educating themselves about issues and helping other men understand it. So when we first initiated our program, our male advocates spent about a year educating themselves about the issues, reading various books, various articles, having discussions. They would have monthly meetings. They would meet with workshop trainers that we'd bring to our campus, and then they developed an ally training to help other men understand. So we are offering that ally training, they're offering the ally training to other men several times a semester. So it's all about men understanding and helping other men understand and be part of the solution. When our male advocates realized that there were very few women recognized for institutional awards, and they found out that's because women tend not to be nominated. What they did was to intentionally go to departments, to colleges, and solicit nominations, put in place nominations for women so they would be hopefully awarded. So that is something concrete that they were able to do. It's going to be institutionalized as long as there are men who are willing to participate, because there's nothing that we can do to force people to participate in a program like that. When they're willingly reading and discussing issues to gain a deeper understanding and then be willing to talk about it to other men, that's we can only make the program available. I would say start with a small group of people who are interested, who are dedicated and who get it, who are willing to do the work, and allow that program, the group, to grow gradually. I would say don't worry about those who are not interested in the program. Instead of trying to win everybody's interest initially, just focus on growing the program, helping the men and women develop their skills, being able to educate themselves so that the program grows.